What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my kitchen. It's another Make a Meal Monday. I'm Roscoe Red. I got Mama Red here. Now, during the quarantine period, I wanted to try to learn something new, better myself as a human being, so I finally taken the time to learn how to cook more from my mother. And these are all very simple, easy recipes that you can make for yourself and your family. And today, what are we making?
Today, I'm just gonna show Chris how to broil a sirloin steak in his oven, and then we're gonna make some what we call sticky rice, which is something that he likes, and it's plain and it's a basic recipe to make rice.
And it's delicious.
And it's good, yeah.
So yes, a steak with a side of sticky rice, and we're gonna start off with marinating the steak, you said, right?
Yeah, we're gonna marinate the steak first. So first of all, you're going to need, I have an Angus beef sirloin steak. Okay, it's probably about a little over a pound. A little Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. This is what I like to use just to marinate and tenderize the meat a little bit.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah. A little bottle of red wine vinegar. I also like to use this when I marinate meat as well.
Okay.
And of course the old salt and pepper. Basically, that's it.
All right, simple enough. Let's get started.
Okay. Okay, so I put the steak, I have it in like a platter. I'm just gonna use a fork, prick the steak a little bit on both sides. Okay, we're gonna get some salt. Okay, a little bit of pepper.
On one side or both?
We're gonna do both sides, but you don't wanna use too much salt because salt can draw the juices out of the steak. So you can use a little bit, but if you want it saltier, it's probably best to salt the steak after it's cooked because you wanna keep the steak as juicy as possible, so don't use too much salt when you're marinating.
Gotcha.
We're gonna get some of this Worcestershire sauce, okay? And we're just gonna put it on that. Sprinkle it on a little bit.
Let's see if we get better or worse at saying Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire
as this video goes on.
I always say Worcestershire sauce.
That's even worse.
Yeah, Worcestershire sauce. Okay. And now we're gonna put a little bit of red wine vinegar. Okay. Now we're gonna take the steak.
Flip it.
And we're just gonna flip it over. Of course, it's gonna fall apart on me because this is a very tender cut of meat. So, okay, we're gonna do the same. Pepper. Yeah, the Worcestershire sauce helps to make a nice, when the juices of the meat combine, it just makes a really nice au jus. Okay, which is a meat
Look at you
juice.
with the phrases.
Au jus. That's what it is. So we're gonna let this marinate a little bit. Okay, let's flip it over. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this aside now. You can leave it in the refrigerator if you want, which is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I don't want it to be left out in room temperature. So let's refrigerate this while we make the rice.
All right, well that was fast.
Yes, that was fast.
Nothing to that.
Marinating a steak, there's really not much to it.
All right, so now on to the sticky rice.
Sticky rice
what do
is
we
what
need
we
for
call it.
that?
Okay, usually I get river rice, or this is Caroline jasmine rice. It's just a white long grain rice. We're going to also use a half a stick of butter, powdered chicken bouillon.
Okay.
Okay, and water. Done.
Just some water and a pot.
Right.
All right.
This makes your basic rice. If you would like to add like peas and corn or whatever you want to the rice after, beans, you could do whatever you want, but Chris ain't gonna do it.
To each his own, but no.
So we're so
No
plain,
peas.
everything's plain. All right, so this is what we're gonna do.
All right, let's get it.
This is probably one of the easiest things to make, and I make this all the time. It's great to use as a side dish, especially with steak. Maybe you don't want to eat potatoes, with hot dogs, anything. It's just a really nice, easy, quick recipe. We're gonna start off first, okay, with 1 cup of rice. Okay, we're gonna put that in the pan. Okay, 2 cups of water. We're gonna put that in the pan.
All right, so far I think I can handle this.
Yes. A couple nice round heaping teaspoons of the bouillon. If you don't have the bouillon powder like this, 2 or 3 bouillon cubes will do the same thing. The concentrated bouillon cubes. And last but not least, we're gonna cut this in half and we're gonna use a half a stick of butter. Okay, and we're just gonna drop that in. The nice thing about this is you put everything in the pan, you put it on the stove. When it comes to a boil, make sure everything is stirred up, put it on low and let it simmer for 15 or 20 minutes and you're done.
That's it?
Done.
Yeah, let's do it then.
Yep. Okay, Chris. We're gonna let that heat up and come to a boil. Okay, so it's started to boil. And I'm just gonna mix it up till the butter melts all in there, which it is, and you don't want the rice to stick to the bottom. But now it's boiling. I'm gonna lower it so that's just a simmer. Okay.
What'd you have it on before, like 5?
I had it like on medium. Now I have it on low.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it on like 2 or 3. So you just want a nice little rolling boil like this.
Okay.
Okay. And we're gonna let that sit. Okay, for probably about 15 minutes or so. And when it's done, the best thing to do with this is to take it off the stove and let it sit 5 or 10 minutes before you serve it. So it would be perfect timing. We'll take it off the stove, we'll put the steak in. That's gonna take probably, 10 to 15 minutes because it's not a very thick steak, and dinner will be done.
All right.
Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. We're gonna shut off the gas. We're gonna take the rice, we're gonna put it off. Okay, off the heat. I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit. Now while it sits, it's gonna soak up everything. Looks pretty good.
Definitely looks sticky.
Yeah, that's why they call it sticky rice. Okay, so the rice is done. We're letting it sit on the stove. I'm gonna get have a nice little broiler pan here. It's a 2-piece broiler pan. Okay. We're just gonna put some aluminum foil on the top of this. Okay. I like to do this so that the broiler pan doesn't get so dirty. It's a lot easier to clean like this. Okay, but what you want to do is there's slots here. I just kind of, put the knife through so that the slots are open, so that the juices can run down to the bottom of the broiler pan and it won't smoke. Because a lot of those juices after can be like a meat juice and au jus to put over the steak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll slide the steak right on here. Okay, there we go. And put some of that marinade on the top. And you notice how the steak soaked up all that marinade. Okay, so now this is ready to put in the broiler. We're gonna put the broiler on high. Now this is probably, I would say, just a little less than 1/2 inch cut right here. So no more than like 6 to 8 minutes aside. I like my steak to be medium well, like a little pink inside. If you like it to be rare, then you don't want to leave it in that long, okay? But I like it about medium. So we're gonna open up the broiler door. We're gonna put our steak in. Okay, close it up. Okay, so just about 10 minutes has gone by. It's starting to cook on the top a little bit.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, so we're just gonna switch it now. We're gonna turn it over. Okay, and probably only about 6 minutes on the second turn.
Alexa, set a timer for 6 minutes.
Second timer, 6 minutes, starting now.
So I'm gonna take a look. Okay, this was the second turn, 6 minutes. It looks done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shut the broiler off. Take this out.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Oh, set it up here.
First time we've ever used my broiler pan, and that's, wow.
It cooked beautiful.
I wish we had smell-o-vision, because everybody would love this right now.
Smell-o-vision.
It smells awesome.
All right. Woo. I'm just gonna get the steak, put it nice here, and come on over.
And voila.
Here it is.
I think that was the most simple one we've done yet.
Oh yeah, and if you look at the steak, it's just a little pink inside, so it's medium.
Juicy.
It's nice and juicy, and like I say, that's sticky rice is nice and sticky and gooey and
There it is. Perfect.
Okay.
So there you go, steak and sticky rice. Try it for yourselves. Leave pictures and videos of your creations in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. Until next week,
Bye.
bon appetit!